the first episode of Make Me Know. And in this episode, we're just talking men. We want to discuss a lot of things revolving around men. In this first episode, I'm excited to have some wonderful personalities with me, and I'll let them introduce themselves as we proceed. So, welcome guys to the first episode of Make Me Know. Before I proceed much longer, of course, the viewer would like to know who this person is, name, maybe some additive.
Okay, my name is Greatness. I'm a performing poet, and yeah, I think that is much.
Greatness.
And a good guy.
A good guy.
Yes.
Greatness, the name itself is great.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Greatness, for being with us today.
Mr. Zamahanga. I'm a writer, a performing artist, writing part, I write poetry, screenplays, and also stories. And I'm a performing poet, and that's just it. I love performance, I love art, anything that deals with that, that's my area of comfort.
Welcome, Mr. Zamahanga,
Thank you.
and to the next gentleman.
Phoenix Ablaze. That's my other personality. Let me say it. I'm an artist. I identify myself as an artist now because back then I used to say I'm a rapper, but I've put more ammo into my arsenal, so I identify myself as an artist now because I do hip hop, I do spoken word, I do poetry. And aside from other things, Luya awesomeness and other things I won't mention now. But in short, I'm an artist, I'm a performing artist, I'm a recording artist, and all of that.
Great, Phoenix Ablaze. Thank you for being with us. And to our last gentleman.
Also, allow me to introduce my other personality. Okay. My name is Phil Ibsen. I'm the master of descriptions. I'm a pretty writer and a blogger. And I love of many things to do along the way.
Yes.
Wow.
And that is why we are here on a panel. The gentlemen have already introduced themselves. So I think the show is Tony Oyuech. Welcome. I believe we are going to have a great discussion ahead. To start with, I told you on the start that we are going to talk men. So my first question to the gentleman will be, what's your definition of a man? This one I direct it to any of us. What's your definition of a man?
Age man is not age. Man is not, for me I feel like it's not even gender. It's about responsibility. And it's about being initiative, like taking an initiative and taking responsibility first over your own actions and over the things that you can manage as you go. I think that is what I can define as a man. Being a man doesn't have to be, like when you're growing up, you're like, I'll be a man when I'm 20, or I'll be a man when I'm 18. But you can take more responsibilities and grow that part of your life when you're younger and grow into that manhood while you're still young.
Yes. So the definition of a man.
I'm listening to more.
Greatness is responsibility. That is the one which is coming out clearly. Responsibility. Any of the gentlemen, definition of a man, or as greatness, captured it with greatness.
I'm a cinephile. I love movies and TV shows. So I'll quote the definition of a man from one of these show I watched, The Breaking Bad. And there's this character called Gustavo Fring. He was talking to the other guy called Walter White. This is how he described a man. A man provides. It doesn't matter whether he is appreciated or not, whether he's despised. A man provides. So providing, that's one responsibility of a man. So my definition of a man, that was the shows. So mine is, a man is this one, which means if you say you do something, then you do it. And if you know you won't do it, then don't keep your word. So what is bond? And what makes someone? Yeah.
Lakini sometimes you have to be appreciated bana. You have to survive bana.
There's no that thing of you just do your thing and walk away.
But
It's
kuna
not
time
sema
hakuna
no.
msa kuappreciate.
Yeah. So yeah, men not normally that appreciated most of the times.
So you're just doing your thing and
Sometimes it's good to be appreciated.
It is. It adds value, but then it's not your food. It's not like because I'm not appreciated, I'm not a man. Sijui ama.
you're not a man if you're not appreciated. I think the Mr. Wahenga anaileta in a stronger way that a man should be somebody who is out there strong. Unafanya vitu zako hata if anyone see it, well and good. If somebody does not see it, then also that is well and good. You are doing a thing as a man. That is closely related to what we just said.
Yes,
I believe so.
taking
It's closely
responsibility.
related. Yes, so with those definitions, my next question is that this idea or the societal idea that men should not cry. I want us to talk about that. Men should not cry. Yani the society imeonaga tu wewe ni mwanaume, you're supposed to be strong all the way, no tears, no mourning, no whining. You are a man. That is how the society view men to be.
To reflect on what they were both saying, man is responsibility, and to be a man is to serve. And what that means is that a lot of pressure lazima take up to the man. Being a pillar lazima, being a pillar of a building lazima it'll carry a lot of weight, it'll carry a lot of pressure. And some things or everything cracks at some point. You can't be serving all these things and nothing bad comes your way. To serve is basically to give. You're always giving, you're giving your best, you're giving your little, you're always giving. And hizi zote zitakamna challenges, zitakamna pressure. And sometimes everyone can crack under pressure. So, si cha ajabu sana kuona mwanaume analia. Unaona, si kitu yenye mtu akiangalia and then anasema no, that is wrong, you can't do that, you're a man. Everyone cracks under pressure sometimes. So maybe you can handle it, but you can crack sometimes. Because wanasema all men must serve, all men must die. Bala
Massive description. You've been told this as you grow up, or you just see it by yourself as a man?
While you were growing up, these are the times, the idea among the definition of being a man is to create yourself in the image of your dad. So whoever dad was in the time gonna play father figure, here you call the ultimate definition of being a man. Whoever played father figure, you guys can be called your mom, ama nani, ilikuwa hiyo. And the first time niliona man akilia, baba, tuseme tu baba akilia, mtani fulani, matanga fulani, zile matanga za mtaa, manya hata ghetto ishi. So wasa wamekaa msi tunapasa hapo hivyo ndio unaangalia wase. Women are crying, they're weeping, they're wailing, wanashikana, kila msi hapo hapo. But then the husband to the woman who died, ni widow ama how do you call it? Widow. The widower alikaa tu pale kwa hapa kwa nini mlango akichungulia and shaking and tears ikitoka, and I was like, nilikuwa glued kwa home safe. You have never seen that. And I'm like, kumbe wa baba ulio kwa matanga kweli wa ina break ile ni ina feel like mimi msee mtu akikufa nitana kwa matanga misi ndia. Wewe kazi yako ni kukaa ngumu. Wewe ngoja tu ugote wase walie. Let women do their own thing.
And be tough like your dad.
Yeah, be tough like your dad kama wewe. But somewhere along the way kuna vile vitu break. So unasema this generation ya sini millennial sama ni cheva with the most fucked up generation ever. Sisi tuko na issues of fragile.
Very fragile.
Sijui, we are not even as tough as we used to. Sijui kenye na happen, lakini ishakuwa.
And nasikia men never used to apologize back in the day.
They do. Or you are forced to. You have to apologize. Mr. Rizawahenda, imewahi fikia mpaka ukasema tu ai hii naye inalia ama umejikuta tu wewe unalia?
Yeah, I cried this year. I think this year nimecry once when I had news about the death of my friend alikuwa anaitwa Ras Godiso. He was a poet and a friend. So yeah, I cried. I was alone, but yeah, it broke me. I think that's the only time I cried this year. Yeah, so yeah, it's okay for men to cry.
Hiyo ilikuwa experience ingine normal, tulikuwa sijui kama ni true ama explanation ama nini. Ilikuwa blow ingine hapo kwa sana. Juu pia unakaa una reflect, wewe ni man, to the same space umse alikuwa, the same space ulikuwa, the same dreams, the same nini. Then stuff in happen like poof. Now some reality inaanza kusink.
Yes.
Ndio kama msee problem ile probably 30 years way
30 years
older than you. Life that
57 years or something like that.
Inaye mlikuwa naye in the same
The guy was
journey.
24 years old. Young.
Young.
And a lot of.
So that is the one time you can remember you were pretty broke down.
I say waliangi have heartbreaks.
Tell us about
Unalia kiundani, bro.
Tell us about yours.
Yeah, mwachwi. Maybe my thought on men crying. Tears are not a solution. That is the funniest part about tears. But they are important. They are not a solution. Like you and say, so maybe for 1 week. Lia ni sawa, like just lia to let that thing out, but don't make it your life. I'm grieving right now. I grieve 1 month, I grieve 2 months. I go to hapo na lia man. Life must go on.
Make example.
Mimi ndo nimeumia sana kwa hawa wase wote. Ama you want to be the last man crying, and they are not a solution, but they are a relief. They offer relief, and there's that part in a man's life where you are not, as in your inadequacies are being revealed.
Yeah.
You get your inadequacies are being revealed, and you're like, wow. You get, because like when my two brothers wamesema, like you're being raised to this person who has everything going on. Like you have to make things, you have to pull, you have to, as in there's that part that you have your things going on. This is how I want my year to be, this is how I want my months to be, this is, you're taking leadership over your life, and then reality inakuhit. Realities inakuhit. So hiyo ndio inadequacies. Na miwacha maboys walia, hata mimi ulia. Mimi nimelia this year, nimelia kifo ya Buddha fulani, the late Charles Rao, nilikuwa naye OC, nilikuwa na caregiver, nilikuwa tu hapo every time naze. So there was no time in my thought, na ile design uko hopeful naze, alafu asubuhi moja hiyo day alidai, sikuwa. Hiyo ndo day nilikuwa na rest, na family member akaniambia wewe nishe upumzike, mimi nitakamini. So hiyo ndo day napigiwa simu mazee 3. Kwanza hiyo time sikuwa nashika, nilikuwa tunaongea na mrembo fulani. So napigiwa simu niko like nitashika hii baadaye mazee, it's not an emergency. So baadaye napigiwa simu na nurse, anaambia mazee Buddha amepass. Like what? Any by calm point, yani I wasn't expecting this point to come, yani. And then you know, like you have Ras Godi, and like everything flashes to, you see him, like you see him but he's not there, but you see him. Alafu unaenda kwa hao, as in kila kitu ina replay tu saa hiyo. Zina replay tu so much so fast. So unakuwa like una feel tu ile feeling ya inadequacy. Yeah, kwa as in hivyo tu yani. It's in your plate, you can't do anything about it. And that is death for you. Niliandika hiyo time, the pain of death is permanent. like iko tu permanent, like manze from this day onwards umsai hiyo ndo feeling inaandika. But my boys hawaliwa
greatness my boys wakwe wakioka na maboys wakwe waki. If you feel like okay imekuingia sana jiachilie, but it should not
be
the fact that you are a man.
Yeah.
Or I find kuweka kwa hiyo situation that wewe tu ni frequent mourner.
Una nini bisa tears are not a solution.
Yeah.
But
They are already
hii basi pia mtameza wa remote.
Nasikiaga ujimoto pia wewe. Na swala
Alafu hiyo waru yende kwame hapa.
Ukale kitunguu.
ndio unaendelea matiza kitungu mimi sinielewi.
So Phil mentioned something very important about the generation, the millennials. Do you think that millennials right now, they can dispute from the teachings that maybe our dads were being taught? Because by then, kulikuwa na clear responsibility of men and clear responsibility of women, which kulikuwa tuna hiyo line, unajua tu hii ni wa mama, hii ni ya mabuda. So the line was clear, but nowadays we are in a generation, or we are in that century where we are fighting for gender equality. We should try to shed more light on that. The millennials, are they finding it difficult to really figure out the responsibility of men, or the boundaries to where men should reach? Ama tu ni kawaida tu kama last time?
Okay.
First of all, millennials ni kids when wamezaliwa from the point of 85 to 2001. And utapata during hii period, most kids hawakuwa na grow up with father figures. That's true. Because divorces zimekuwa mingi. And divorces, not just divorces peke yake, abandonment. You're left to be raised by just one family member, maybe the grandmother, or most cases the mother. Usually right now utapata kids growing up wanasema how grateful they are to their mothers, or raised alone na nini. And hiyo imechangia because hakukuwa na that father figure to teach people on easy responsibilities zenye inasemekana sahi, as in this is your role, this is your role, this is bad, this is good. No one was there to teach you that. Of course, maybe there's that one parent, I'm the guardian, who will teach you almost everything, but no one is perfect. You have to have two sets of teachings. Everyone needs that to come up with a better way of viewing things in the end. So that could be a factor too.
Mr. Zawainga, someone might say from that point that the pre-85 kids, kulikuwa na orphans, kulikuwa na those people who also lacked father figures. So if that question is directed to you, what can you answer to that in argument, or remembering that, okay, we are talking about millennials lacking father figures?
True. Fathers play a huge role in the growth of a child, especially the male child. Kuna difference, you see, okay, nowadays there is a rise of single mothers. Okay, they say it's okay and stuff, but kiangalia difference, my grandfather, watoi wake alikuwa na like 7 sons. Alikuwa na make sure watoi wake by the time wanafika 18 umetoka home, akwambia aenda Nairobi, kuna anko yako fulani, unafunza nini, unaona, like anatoa home, the birds are leaving the nest. So pata wana toughen up early. But okay, the current generation now, especially the generation of single mother, ni hard sana. Nimekuwa na single mother sana jua. Mother atakuwekea pressure utoke home. Anatia siko na feel comfortable, umegrow, you can live well.
Kisikia unateseka huko nje, rudi home.
Yeah, so father figures wanna play a huge role. I think it affects sana millennials. Ukiangalia keenly, why is this that in a generation yenye kuna there's a rise of masculinity accounts, Twitter,
Yeah.
Americs and everything. Well, then our fathers needed to be reminded that they need to be tough. No, they didn't. You see, there's a reason for rise of that.
Yes.
Naweza sema one thing, sitaki to blame either absent some the father figures around, but hii generation fulani millennials tukilelewa sisi wote millennials
Yes.
85 2001.
tuko hapo tukilelewa tuko na ile one philosophy kwa tunaambiwa well life yako is simple, you know, but I don't know, initiation, education, I don't know, marriage, as ilikuwa as simple as that. And wale wazae wali blend nayo, it used to work perfectly for them. Enda shule, maliza, pata job, somesha watoto wako ama somesha wale wa kwenu, ilikuwa simple. So sisi tumekam tukaget into adulthood, ikatushtua, tukakuwa confused. Reality zetu tumezipata pale outside, see the same realities there, walikuwa wametu we were not prepared for that. But when I smell being a man is a little figure shit. Sweet out.
Smith, I feel like it's because like life see straight line trajectory. Okay. So who would have predicted that we'll have 2 years of a global pandemic? As it may kila mtu, yani hakuna mtu mwenye hata wasio wamefito kwa hii pandemic imewashake. Who would have predicted? Another thing is there's your identity. Like for example, if you're an artist, there is that thing that you want you to achieve that your parent doesn't see. So mta clash, thank you. Well, when the office, you do your stuff there. Wewe uko hapo uko like man, una kana soko wako ofisi wako depressed, uko like man, mimi siwezi. Juado, I lose my mind with Juado. I feel like as millennials we have been more tunakuwa na risk taking nyingine ni ajabu, like to break kuna cycles na lazima tuna break hivi juu ya make sure tuna feel impact ya life yetu. Unaget kuna cycles lazima utabreak, utasema tu mimi target your degree target but job na hustle stuff like.
Yes, I think that is a good way or a good line to introduce us to our third question, which I will just ask: how is our upbringing affecting how we are right now? So, like Phoenix Ablaze, how did your upbringing affect how you turned out to be? Or like Ibsen, how did your upbringing affect how you turned out to be? And the same goes to our hanging greatness here. Our upbringing, did it affect how you turned out to be?
Kwangu it did. Nakumbuka literature za Millennium Times papers 1 nini. Every time I spend more time at school than at all. At school utaambiwa like, hey, mama anafanya nini? Anapika nini kwa jikoni? Baba anafanya nini? Amekaa kwa situ unasoma gazeti. Tusikizo narratives kazi zote becoming bunch of. So nakumbuka time nimeenda mtaa. Simple house nini tu hapo hiyo. Osha vyombo, tuko na season kwa TV. Ni hadi film. Osha vyombo. I'm like, naosha vyombo na ako hapa. Buda kwa masa na ilikuwa. Baada nilipigwa kwanza, nikaambiwa kwa nyumba yangu hakuna mtoto msichana, hakuna mtoto mvulana. So sometimes when you elevate across hizo ages, teens, the concept of feminism inaanza kuingia. To me haikuwa strange vile. Kuna watu wengine wanaweza kuona wame struggle nao sana. Hata sasa hivi kuna sana struggle na understand that concept of it. Wao wanakwambia like nini dance nini ile toxic masculinity ina affect sana. Shida yenye watu wengi wanapitia ni juu ya hiyo stuff. Leo uko hapo uko like solution is simple mse. Open minded. Embrace your story.
Let us go and see it.
Uko na si
brother. Mimi sijui kazi ya kazi ni again. Mimi najua kazi ni kazi.
sasa si kazi.
True. Can pia bring yangu na affect positively na pia negatively, but positively mostly. Like I used to cook. Unajua mimi ndio napika nikiwa primary, so sijai kuwa na shida. But sasa naishi solo. Sijai kuwa na issue na kujipikia ama nini, kuosha vyombo. Kwangu ni normal. I can do these things now. Can be brought up kwa familia yenye kulikuwa na a lot of literature, so kulikuwa na baiwa hizi God Matata, Cinderella, so ili build up your reading culture, which I say bado kitu kwangu. I'm always surrounded with books and so somehow ni fiti. So for now I'm sure you're positive.
Tuna break cycles. Umse kwa tafana angeambia mtu what's your favorite book to read? Cinderella. Mbele ya maboys.
Hakuna mtu anasema uko na so some people will not believe that.
You will not. I'm from a strong Christian background. I feel like for me, immense who understand life in the perspective of my spirituality. Junajua, Chamin Melan, God no constant. As in God ndio constant. Yani unaweza enda anywhere, yani unajua tu God ndio constant. Watu watakuangusha, life itakupiga, utakosa do, utalala njaa. Yani vitu zita happen like you're doing everything the way you want to do, like you're giving, you're making sure things are okay, but people do not give you back the way you expect. So I think you're the melan for my dad and my mom. God ndio constant. God no constant for life. Do good, like just do good. Me mwana Buddha mpaka tunaambia Buddha mzee, msezi. Mbona unamfanya hivyo? Like mbona unamfanya hivyo unagel? Like mbona?
Si unamfanyia lakini nauma.
Like unamfanya, you're being good to him, and from our history, and we sit with him and we discuss like, oh, this person, and ndio sana kushow kwanza kuna vitu alifanya yenye haujui. You get, so you're like, wow, I can't be half as good as you are, but I'm learning to when you finish to give, like you do good whether it has been done to you or not. You don't buy good, you give.
Nilikuwa nataka kuadd something tukiyamsema. Kuna character na kuna personality. Unasema like if you have to be a man, you have to have balls. Sometimes you don't have to have balls to be a man. You have to have character. Your character is one constant thing in a staying in one state. Personality in a shift depending on circumstances.
Situation, environment.
So by goodness, I thank God we can grow up surrounding young. Some of my friends when they grew up now, we turn out differently. Classmates differently. We turn totally differently. And I'm like, me Pia, we got to probably a second in the shift hivi. Juu all the reasons ilikuwa pale za kwenda hiyo sector nyingine. But now I'm like, I didn't go in the way you gonna feel like forcing me. It wasn't my nature, it wasn't character yangu, even till now.
True, you can have balls and still be an asshole.
Yes, so
but to add on that, it's true, the way we were raised affected us in a lot of ways. I mean, just look at everything, kuna flat screen TV squeezy. We didn't have that. Kuna time, like, well, let's say hizo siku zenye baba zetu walikuwa wamerezia and our mothers and everyone, a man could be caught dead fast before patikane ako jikoni. That's why you could sometimes, maybe you went to visit your dad and he lives alone, you find that he never cooks. He has never cooked, maybe he buys food, maybe someone comes to cook but see, someone like me, I was raised by my mother most of my life, and being the firstborn, I had to take responsibility of my other two sisters, and when she's not around, I would be the one to cook. So I started learning how to cook when I was a very young guy. Until up to now, one of the things I do is culinary work. I like to cook. So that's the way we were raised. They played a major part in us growing up and our characters coming to life. it had a major role in that. Sana.
Yes, so that is a unanimous agreement that the way we are raised really affected how we turned out to be. And I'll ask us our last question of the show, that what will you tell your younger self? And by younger self, I mean you synchronize back to you at 8 years old or at 12-year-old. With all that you know right now, what will you tell your younger self? Greatness.
I had thought of doing this, writing a letter to my younger self as a way of reminiscing how growth comes about. Ndawambia tu akuwe tu strong, akuwe tu strong venye brother amesema manze, character got tested and things just happen out of the blues. Any vitu happen tu, yani when you huwezi control. Unajua kwa 8 unapanga the next, mimi kwa nimepanga nikimaliza high school kwa nimesema by 25 nitakuwa millionaire.
Mbona ukiwa kwa best yangu juzi?
Nilikuwa na Facebook page back in 2009 kwa form 1 reach at 24. Bado yuko by the way.
But again kuna kitu nilisoma jana. I am rich not because I have money. I am rich because I have experience, I have love, I have knowledge, I'm able to interact with people. Wakitoka wakiachana na mimi wafeel ni kama nimewatea. Get. So hiyo ni kitu important yenye you feel usually I had said there's this burial, and then people were talking and say this guy went out of his way to pay school fees. But I cried. I also cried at that point. I cried because I was like, when he was doing it, it wasn't like it was a big deal. It was like mtoto lazima aende shule. But when at his old age, you see a very old guy, like he's prominent and imagine like I won't be where I am here if this guy wasn't good to me, or if this guy didn't do this to me. And me I cried because I knew this guy at his old age. Nilimpata tu akomzee, and I just needed to just be good to him, like serve and stuff. So I was like, wow, this person has been made impact, and I couldn't even tell that he is an important person. Mimi kwa tunaona tu ni mzae. So hiyo ndio kitu inataka kujiambia, like just do good and be true to yourself.
Yes.
Do life mazeni life.
Master of description. Your younger self. What will you vividly describe to your younger self?
There's I'm sure happiness. Kila mtu anataka happiness. Na the same wakina Wainga wa kitambo wale shika uke alikuwa pale. Walisema if you chase after something, talk about butterfly. The more you chase, the more you chase you. So happiness, hakuna that constant happiness in sort of like wow, I'm happy from Monday to Monday. Happiness is coming in bits and bits before you get there. My younger self, yes, appreciate those small moments. Zi atakuwa napata happiness. Pia umlete nikamkumbia like that. Naweza kuwa na mmepitia issue fulani. And since stereotypes za men ndio unakuanga you pass that stage bila kurecall like shit. This happened kinda. So nikiget kwa zone fulani when I'm happy na realize okay, nimesurvive. Then kama sasa wanacheka hivi tears zinakam hiyo time. As equal the time.
Oh yeah.
Zinakam after. And I'm like, it sounds like kuna lia. I'm like, that new stuff will be funny. And I'm like, way and real.
Mr. Ida Wahenga, your younger self, ungemchapia mystery kama gani?
Get out more, participate in physical activities. Mimi lazima nacheza ball, kuendesha bike, burudani, cheza PlayStation ama nasoma story books. Unajua somehow nafili
kama cool
kid bwana, lakini niliderail sana. Nilikuwa physically weak sana, unajua like nilikuwa naogopa nje baada kesho acheza hizo balls za juala. Mimi stories zangu za hizo sina hizo stories sana. imagine.
Form of food.
What indoors dies. So lesson to my younger self,
Eh,
participate more in physical activities
mm.
and stay outdoors more.
Stay outdoors more.
Yeah.
And
There's life outside, but there has to be a balance.
Balance.
You get, because you can't be too much on the physical and your mental, you
no,
go
that's-
down.
mm.
So ni hard by them.
Physical things get on by then.
But you can't avoid. You can't like unaona kuna mafootballers ama maathletes wenye zina hawako poa akili seti hawako IQ but unaona choices wanadu uko like man unajua uko na do kiasi gani like si ungetulia tu ati ungeletwa hata kwa hao fikirie chenye unataka kufanyia na life yako. You get
So
like
there is balance.
yeah you have to like find
That should bring us to another question. I think the last one. Childhood trauma.
Childhood.
Yeah.
Okay, I think that is a very good one for our next meeting. To the man of blazes, what will you tell your younger self?
Well, I will tell my 8-year-old self,
Mhm.
don't take it to heart too much. And maybe start saving at that time.
For real.
Hizo five ulikuwa unakula nao lollipop, just weka. Just weka. Because growing up, I grew up a very depressed boy. I went to 11 schools in primary. Not that Nishai pewa suspension. I've never seen a suspension letter in my life, nor a expulsion letter. We just kept on moving from place to place. So
it wasn't even your fault.
it was not my fault. So things like that I took to heart. Unajua, 1 year mko hapa, sometimes even a term. Umeenda shule ya term, and then you've made friends. You have to leave those friends. One time uko Nakuru, the other time Mombasa, the other time Nairobi, and it's just your mom. You can see her struggling, so you take all of that into heart. Yeah. So I would tell myself, don't take it all to heart. And your life is not that serious. I mean, just try to be happy. By there, I've realized if you don't take it all to heart, it's a key to being happy. Yeah. It's just take it how it is, accept, and you move on. Don't be angry too much. I'm so angry.
That's something to have.
Nimekumbuka unasema walikuwa they used to move around. Probably we might be that kind of generation, the first ones when you walikuwa you forced na ile now you guys have to move. Zile connections we make mko wadogo mtakama awako, so new kama to normalize say zinakuwa okay
man
ilifanya sasa you made friends, imefika point nyingine you see no effort in making friends again, so you're just alone.
We have a lot that we can not even discuss when we are given 2 hours. So I would just like us, all of us, or each and every one of us, to just think of something and say it out. What would you like to tell a man? Because we want to make men know, or want to make these guys know. So what would you like to tell a man out there? It's in the show.
Do not play with anyone's emotions.
Do not play with
Not-
emotions.
Not just women,
Uh-huh.
but anyone's emotions.
yeah.
Don't play with it. Unajua, for someone to get depressed, to have those mental health issues, it
Yes.
starts with emotions.
Mhm.
It's emotions. It's how you feel. So you feeling like that, and then you believe that feeling is real. You take it to the brain. So inaanza kukusumbua. That's depression. Depression is just feelings that you've gathered from the experiences that you're going through. So someone's emotions, you can play with their money, you can play with their puppy, but not their emotions. Yeah.
kuna tuliona big money close to their heart.
Yeah, so my word to men up there, as long as there is life, there is hope, and as long as the left side of your chest still kicks,
Mhm.
there's still hope.
Yes.
You can always make a comeback, man. Hata uko 40s, 50s. Just start with the right attitude and mentality, there's hope.
Yes. There is hope.
My takeaway, do not forget your story. Juu utakuwa na generation inatakam, either kama utakuwa na watoto wako ama watoto wengine, do not forget your story. Sisi tunasuffer, tunapita vitu zingine more juu parents wetu they didn't share their story. So do not forget your story.
Don't forget your story.
Not a story, that's deep.
From master of description, greatness.
Mazee do good. As in just do good. Venye nani Phoenix anasema, Phoenix the Blade. As in don't be the person to conspire against someone. Don't be the first person to conspire. Because like if we live to bring each other down, ndio msemo mwingine madhe revenge ni shida nyingine mbaya. Because like nikikuchimba unaona mali nimeacha, utakuja utaizidisha. Unaelewa? So mimi nikuja tena nione mabusa msonyaji wachenda msho. You get and as men that is bad. We do good when we in our capacities. If I feel like this guy can get this opportunity, or I feel like he can do something better than I can do, you get hiyo kitu tulifundishwa na mzae, like usijione nikaa chenye uko nayo ndio hiyo jujui kesho.
Yeah.
Unaget jujui kesho, juu kesho mazee unaweza kuwa unani chenye mse hapo nayo unaget na ulimwangusha. Unaona unafaitia hii kitu kidogo yenye uko nayo. So learn to do good, learn to share. Juu it's collective. Mse akikuwa na akona project yenye anaweza do, ananiita, I'm like bra, hebu come tukule hido. I get this. It's quite kwa mazee hii kitu ni yangu. And with time we grow communities of people who are strong financially, emotionally, because we are good to each other and we are there for each other and we support each other and tuna grow.
Yes, so as you've heard from the gentlemen here, I'm surrounded with artists, so they cannot never run out of words. To men out there, do not play with someone emotion. There is always room for comeback, and you should always learn to be good. And as Phil just told us, that never forget your story, or do not forget your story, because I believe from that story there is someone out there who will learn from the story, and you as well. I believe you can always trace your path through the story that you never forgot. So from men on the bench or from men on the panel to a man out there, this has been Make Men Know, and see you in the next episode. Thank you.